It's the early 1980s and Space Invaders is doing the rounds in arcades and cinema foyers up and down the country. Want to play it at home? Well, you could do a lot worse than this little beauty. Galaxy Invader 1000 was a handheld electronic game reminiscent of Space Invaders, in which you moved your missile base left and right, firing rockets at descending aliens and UFOs that occasionally flew across the top of the screen. The game's graphics were displayed on a bright vacuum fluorescent display, or VFD, similar to many electronic devices at the time such as video recorder displays and some early calculators. Versions of this game came in different shapes and varieties, but were basically all the same game, with some slight variations. Companies including Tandy, Vanity Fair, Gakken and CGL released it under different names such as Invader, Electron Blaster, Fire Away, Cosmic 1000 Fire Away, Galaxy Invader, Galaxy Invader 1000 and Galaxy Invader 10,000. This particular version from CGL under the name Galaxy Invader 1000 was arguably the most common and sold in 1982 for around £20 to £25. Adjusted for inflation, that's equivalent to about £80 in 2022. You start each game with 3 lives. Aliens move left and right, firing lasers at you and gradually descending toward your ground base. You lose a life if your missile launcher is shot by an alien, and the game ends if you lose all of your lives or if an alien reaches ground base. The game also ends if you've shot all of your 250 missiles. You win the game when you've scored 1,000 points. An extra life and 50 extra missiles are awarded when you reach 700 points. The numbers on the right side of the display signify how many points you'll score if you hit aliens at that position, including the 10 points awarded for hitting any red UFOs that periodically appear at the top position. The bottom position, marked Missile Station, shows how many spare lives you have remaining. Your missile launcher moves left and right using the metal spring-loaded joystick. The stick feels very responsive and springs back to the centre when released, automatically returning your missile launcher to the middle position. The red fire button feels satisfyingly springy and is also impressively responsive. The game itself is a good challenge, but still accessible to players of differing skill levels, as the speed of gameplay can be set before starting a game by using the level switch to select one of 3 difficulty levels. Gameplay commences when the power switch is set to on, and the game can be restarted simply by switching off and on again. There's a silver sticker on the back of the machine explaining aspects of the game and how to play. Gameplay sound is projected through a small hole just below the sticker. The game requires 4 AA batteries to operate, and there's a socket at the top for a mains adapter as an alternative power source. We used to use universal power adapters with this machine, but be warned, there are no indicators on the machine regarding voltage or polarity, so if you ever want to power the game using this method, do your research first. The original manual for the Tandy version of this machine is available as a PDF download. I'll put a link to that in this video's description. I also have to add, in reference to the accessible gameplay, that even my wife, who normally struggles with any kind of video gaming, enjoys an occasional play session on this machine. I received my own Galaxy Invader 1000 as a Christmas present in the early 80s. I wasn't aware of this particular machine's existence before that, but I knew that there were home electronic versions of Space Invaders available, and I'd made my parents aware that I'd love to have one. I'd been wowed by a Space Invaders arcade machine in a cricket club clubhouse that my uncle had taken me and my cousin to one weekend. I never got to play on it, but I remember being mesmerised by the shiny graphics and the otherworldly sounds as I watched other people playing on the machine. I can't actually remember what happened to my original Galaxy Invader 1000 machine, whether it was given away, thrown away or sold, but I rebought this one on eBay a while back for about £15. Prices currently in 2022 are in the region of about £30 to £50 for an unboxed working model. If you want a taste of the Galaxy Invader gameplay but don't have access to a machine, there is a virtual version of the handheld game available for Android and iOS devices, currently priced at £1.49. It's a faithful recreation of the game and cheap enough to try out. They've done a great job with perfectly recreating the graphics and sound, and the depiction of the machine casing is close enough to be recognisable, albeit without the company logo and title sticker. There were 1 or 2 issues I had with it though. The controls are a little unresponsive. There's a slight input lag when you press fire or slide the virtual stick, and as is often the case with touchscreen games, you get no tactile feedback from the fire button or the stick. In addition to that, there's also a slight collision timing issue with the enemy laser fire, your ship will explode just a little too soon before the enemy lasers reach you. If you're happy to overlook or work around these issues, I'd recommend giving it a go either for nostalgia or just out of curiosity. You can find the game by searching for Galaxy Invader 1000 in the Android or iOS app stores. I reached out for your Galaxy Invader memories on social media and I had a couple of responses. Jag Hiroshi on Twitter. I had that very handheld, it was my first, soon followed by Astro Wars and Scramble. At the time, it genuinely felt like you'd brought an arcade into your home. I think my dad bought it for himself, to be honest. Darth Steve 333 on YouTube. The first video game or computer our family ever owned. Couldn't quite believe it when my dad bought it, as he was never really into that sort of thing. My uncle, on the other hand, was definitely a gamer. We had great fun playing this, and my brother and I later ended up with Puck Monster and Caveman the following Christmas. Still got ours, although it does need fixing, as does my Puck Monster machine. Alpha Eagle 1999 on YouTube. I had one as a kid, and I've been able to get one boxed. Great system. I remember playing one shot hit. If I missed one invader, I had to restart the game. Felix Black, YouTube. I've still got mine and it still works. You can't beat the beautiful lights of the ships and lasers. I used to play it on the loo when I was a boy, before the Nintendo Game Boy came along. Wonderful little machine, and I can still hear the Game Over ditty in my head right now. It was like having a mini arcade machine in your hands, and all these years later, I have 2 arcade 1-ups and an At Games Legends Ultimate Arcade in my home studio, and it all started with the Galaxy Invader 1000. I didn't peel the plastic off the silver logo on the machine until only a few years ago too. If you have memories of this game in any of its various guises, let us know in the comments section. And if you'd like your memories included in a future Retrospectives video, follow me on Twitter @RetroSteveUK. I'll be tweeting out requests for comments whenever I'm working on a new Retrospectives video. So I'll leave you now with a quick look at an old Galaxy Invader TV advert. But before I do, I'd like to thank everyone who shared their Galaxy Invader memories, to thank you for liking and subscribing, and of course to thank you all for watching Retrospectives.
Tremble, Earth creatures! You face a terrible new threat!
Galaxy Invader 1000 from Computer Games.